The play's a bit of a comment on human nature, our tendency to resist change until something kind of smacks us in the face and really, some catastrophe hits. And I'm trying to fictionally create a break, create a show that really, punches you in the stomach so that the audience can leave feeling like they need to bend.
Elliot Worley and his friends are putting bystanders in the spotlight. Elliot wanted to bring the issues teens face every day to center stage.
I looked for inspiration just in my own life, and that's what you do with art. I've been bullied, I've bullied myself, I've been the bystander. There's so much to be inspired from when you're a teenager.
The play challenges the audience to question the role bystanders play in bullying. Counselor Wendy Ryan says bystanders tend to step back because they're afraid themselves.
A lot of people remain quiet and passive because they're afraid of intervening. So they're afraid actually that they will be bullied if they intervene. And the research actually shows that if there's an audience, if there are people watching the bullying will occur longer.
It's so important to show bystanders their power in a dispute or in an argument, to show that they have the power to choose what the outcome of that dispute will be.
In the play, Jesse is a gay teen who is repeatedly bullied while his best friend Melissa looks on. To make matters worse, the bully Todd is also Melissa's boyfriend.
It's easier to get used to bullying than it is to get used to being alone. If you walk down the hallway every day and someone says, "Hey, fag," every day for the entire school year, you'll come to expect it. It'll always suck, but it won't be as bad. But if you go down that hall and every day someone says, "Hey, fag," and your best friend stands there and doesn't say a thing, you can't get used to that. So, like Byron said, if just one person says, "Hey, don't say that, just stop that," that makes a huge difference.
If a victim is being bullied, but the victim's friend is standing there watching, it's almost like the victim's friend is saying, "Hey, it's okay, you can do anything you want to my friend." And so that victim is not going to trust his friend anymore.
Although the bystander can harm the situation, they also have the ability to make it better.
Because there's a lot more power in the bystander, they can do a lot more, and they can make a bigger difference than anybody else really can.
Just one act of helping someone really makes a difference.
Each actor faced their own challenges while getting in character. For Paige Chevery Sully, playing the bystander was hard.
It's difficult because I like to think that I stand up for my friends, at least I try to, and it's different to play somebody who's really passive and doesn't really say anything when her friend's in trouble.
Sam Turgeon Brabazon found portraying the bully eye-opening.
Hey, little bitch, how are you?
Truly getting into my character, being a homophobic bully, was ridiculous. It was nuts.
Playing the victim was an emotional experience for Byron Chan.
Playing Jesse as a gay teen is completely different from how I was bullied at a young age. Playing this character really got me thinking about how it would actually be if I was a gay teen in high school.
This group of students are more than just castmates. They're also friends.
It's
great.
Yeah, it's awful because no, it's frustrating sometimes because every rehearsal you get there and your friends are there and you're like, "Oh, let's chat, let's hang out," and then the director half is like, "Okay, you need to stop talking right now or I am going to blow my head." So it's tough to be. I had to adapt to being a director, a superior, if you will, and also maintain, a working friendship with all these guys.
The play was an intensive labor of love, taking over 2 years to compose, cast, and rehearse.
Well, we did, I can't give you an exact number for the hours, but we started the audition process in February 2013. And I had been writing it, I started writing it in December 2011, so I put in about just over a year.
As a musician, Elliot saw music as a great way to connect with the audience and get the message across.
One of the greatest characteristics about it is its ability to convey emotion. If I really wanted to communicate these messages in a powerful way, the ability to convey emotion through a song had to be in my toolbox.
Initially, Elliot planned for the play to be a normal high school production, until he hit a snag.
When we brought it to the school to ask for their permission, the concern was that the content was too mature. The message was great, they agreed with what we were trying to do and supported us 100%. They were just worried that we didn't want to be showing this all willy-nilly to whoever bought a ticket.
The cast performed the play for the grade 12s. Afterwards, they decided to move the play to Centerpoint because they felt their hard work deserved more than one performance.
We actually just called around. My dad and I got together, drew up a list of community theaters, and did some budgeting, made some calls, and this was the most viable option.
Audiences gave the show a standing ovation and left with plenty to talk about.
The show was over, I realized, and I came out, everyone stood up and was clapping. It was amazing.
I think we had at least a couple hundred people in the lobby afterwards, just hanging out for half an hour, so waiting for us all to come. So no, it went over really well. I think it was the perfect combination that, you know, people enjoyed themselves, people laughed and cried, and, you know, they were emotionally thrilled, but we also gave them a chance for some self-reflection, which is what this musical was trying to do.
The message hits teens harder when it comes from their peers.
You know, it's always better to learn from your peers because people seem to be resistant, or teenagers anyway, seem to be resistant having an older person tell them what to do. You know, laying down the law and saying, no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
We really want to push a by students, for students nature with the show, because teenagers really, their ears are open to other teenagers more so than they are to adults. You know, when a teenager talks to a teenager, it's more of a conversation.
While Elliot says he wouldn't turn down future opportunities for the show, he says it's time for the cast to take a break.
You know, I think I speak for the cast when I say at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of high school kids who got together to do a musical, and it grew into more than that. But at the end of the day, you know, we've been doing this for way longer than any show would normally go at a high school level, and I think some of us want to get our lives back. So.
Although the curtains have closed, the message continues.
I'm hoping that the audience takes away that not to be a Melissa, not to just stand there and watch people get their feelings hurt and watch people get hurt. So I want people to stand up and not be a Melissa.
The $3,000 raised by the show was donated to a local youth charity. For the 25th hour, I'm Jasleen Singh.